Hi, Kevin Henry, the Group Editorial Director for UBM Medica's Dental Division, and I'm on a Google Hangout today with my friend and one of the visionaries out there in the dental industry, Dr. Marc Cooper. How are you today?
Marc Cooper is pretty good today. Thanks.
Glad to hear that. Well, you and I have done numerous hangouts, discussions over the years, and I always look forward to our chats. And I know today we're going to focus on the associate in the dental practice. And I know that there are some things that you're seeing out there and hearing out there, and I thought I'd just kind of let you share some of those thoughts with our audience today.
Okay, well, if you take a look at historically, the whole domain of associates has not been very problematic until the last 5 to 10 years. And over time, as anything else, it's like the frog in the boiling water metaphor. You put the frog and you turn up the heat. Well, all of a sudden, associateships and finding associates is an enormous problem in the whole dental industry, whether it be solo practice, partnered, small group, or large group. Large groups have taken a very strategic approach and tactical approach to associateships. They're in their dental schools. They have benefit packages. They have salaries. They have training programs. So their reach into that arena to recruit and retain associates is very strong at this point in time, which limits the capacity for a solo practice or a small group practice to have the same access and the same offers available for associateships. So the scale is, being tipped this way much towards larger group practices. Then you have the young dentists who have anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 worth of debt. And they're looking for getting out from under that debt struggle to some degree so that they can earn and make a good living. So all in all, there's that dynamic going on. Then you bring in another vector called, millennials. Well, the people that you and I are familiar with in terms of practice ownership are either, I'm a mature, so there's few of me left, but then you have the boomers and you have the Generation Xers, and they have a certain set of values that are not recurring in the millennial generation. So, ownership and hard work and, this is going to be my career forever, that's disappearing. And to bring people on into a different set of values, there's cultural conflict. So you've got that going on as well. And then add that, again, the distribution is, many more women are becoming dentists and don't seek any level of ownership. They just want employeeship. And that's a whole other arena that's going on. So right now, and you can't get into the future without associates. I mean, that's the future. So how are dentists going to adjust? How are they going to change what they think and do in order to recruit and have associates come on board and stay? And so that's what we're working on now.
Well, you're always working on something, so that's nothing new there. I know that this is something that you've talked about at your summit conference in the past. What are some pieces of advice that you've given to other dentists about associates and how to work with them and bring them on board in the practice?
Well, we're approaching that problem in this upcoming summit in September because I don't have a single answer. Okay, it's so complex. So we have people going to be speaking about recruiting. We're going to have people speaking about onboarding. We're going to have people talking about the variations between ownership versus non-ownership. We're going to be talking with someone who knows how to take the student debt, refinance it, lower the interest rate from 6 to 3%, have the owner contribute some money per month to reduce the principal so that the repayment structure for the associate goes in this direction. We're going to have people talking about how to get into the dental schools and present yourself. So what we do is our company at least, we look at what's the issue and then try to put together a summit, which really we do, around that particular issue. I feel from my viewpoint, what I see is the most critical feature that's often missing is leadership. And there isn't a game worth playing for someone to change who they are to play that game. So you have a millennial with a certain mindset moving into a culture that's designed by a mature baby boomer or Generation Xer, and it doesn't quite fit. The turnover rate with associates about every 5 years, and it gets expensive. So what's the missing piece from my viewpoint is creating a practice that really wants to make a difference, that has great core values, that's up to really, millennials are very interested in contribution and community. And that oftentimes is not the focus of a dental practice. So dental practices that have leadership have that as part of their menu as well. So there's a lot of missing elements to say, you know, what do you do? Well, you have to do a lot of different things.
And I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but one thing I hear from so many consultants is that leadership is a problem in so many practices. And obviously it affects the associate relationship, but it affects a vast number of things and really kind of breaks down the core of the practice, right?
Yeah, we can spend a little time on leadership. We have 8 minutes here, but leadership is, most dentists consider leadership a noun or something, but it's really not that. Leadership is a verb, it's an action, and it's a level of communication and speaking and way of being that dentists can achieve, but they rarely focus on that. What they focus on is the techniques and the information and the pearls and the recipes, but that's not leadership. Leadership is where you're coming from, not where you're getting to. And right now, if you take a look at the very successful large group practices, like, you know, like Aspen, like Pacific, like Heartland, you know, there's something about their leadership that has people perform in a way that's all the way up and down the line that dentists are competing against. And it really is one of the missing pieces. So we do a lot of work on leadership too, but our summits are really about bringing the experts in the area to talk about how they're approaching associateships and what they're doing. And it's not really about leadership, although I will speak to that a bit at the summit.
And I know I've read some of your writings and blog posts, and I know that's obviously something important and near and dear to your heart. So let's talk just for a moment about the summit. I was wondering if you might just give our viewers a little bit of information about where they can get more information about the summit. And obviously, you described some of the great things you're doing on associates earlier. So I would just love for you to tell them where they can learn more.
Yeah, this associate summit is going to be in Scottsdale. Major opportunity for people. We have people who are in solo practice, small group, large group, dental societies, vendors. We have the industry represented here. That's another unique feature about the summit. The name tags don't have where they're from and don't have their degrees. It's just their name. So, because we're in an industry, and one of the barriers that I'm trying to break down is between all the stakeholders in the industry, because we got to play together to make it work. And the summit is going to be, you know, in my view, one of the most remarkable events where people are coming together to work on an issue that no one has fully addressed the way we're addressing it.
I know it's going to be a great time in Scottsdale. I'm going to put the web address here underneath so our viewers can get more information about that and go to the web. Dr. Cooper, as always, I appreciate your insight and expertise, and thank you so much for your time today.
I appreciate you, Kevin. Thanks again. You be well, and go Rockies.
You too. Go Rockies.